I needed a place to stay. Just for one night. My car had died somewhere between two nameless towns in upstate New York, and the mechanic wouldn't be able to fix it until morning. With no motels nearby and my phone at 12% battery, I was desperate. That's when the woman behind the gas station counter said, "You could try the Clockmaker's place." She scribbled down an address. It's not a hotel, more like an old house that rents out a room now and then. Quiet. Locals say it's safe. I didn't like how she said locals say, but I thanked her anyway and followed the directions. The place was tucked off a dirt road, past a thicket of trees. When I pulled up, I thought I'd gotten the address wrong. It looked abandoned. The house was narrow and tall, with warped shutters and peeling gray paint. Wind chimes clinked in the still air, though I couldn't feel a breeze. A small hand-painted sign hung crooked on the porch. Clockmaker's Guestroom, vacancy. I knocked once, then twice. Eventually the door creaked open. An old man with sunken eyes and white hair stared at me. He wore suspenders and a pressed shirt, spotless despite the dust clinging to every inch of the house behind him. "Room?" he asked, voice dry and deliberate. "Just one night," I said, holding up my wallet. "Cash?" He nodded slowly, opened the door wider, and waved me in without another word. Inside, the air was thick, like the house had been holding its breath for decades. Dozens of clocks filled every room. Mantel clocks, wall clocks, cuckoo clocks, grandfather clocks. Not one of them ticked. They were all still, frozen at different times. "You collect clocks?" I asked, trying to lighten the mood. The man turned to me. "I keep them." That wording stuck with me. He led me up the narrow stairs, shoes echoing on the wooden steps, and opened a small door at the end of the hall. The room was plain. One bed, one lamp, small writing desk, and of course a clock. It was mounted on the far wall, a large round one, brass-rimmed, hands pointing to 11:47. "It doesn't work." "Yes." He didn't answer. He just stared at the clock for a moment before saying, "Lock the door tonight." That was all. Then he left, shutting the door behind him. I should have left right then. But it was late and I was tired, and I convinced myself the guy was just lonely or weird. Nothing dangerous. Just one night, I told myself. I sat on the bed and plugged in my phone. No signal. Course. Out of habit, I checked the time on my watch. 11:47 p.m. Same as the wall clock. Weird coincidence. I laid back, staring at the ceiling. The house creaked softly. Not from footsteps. Just old bones shifting in place. But I couldn't sleep. I kept glancing at the clock. Still 11:47. I watched it for 5 minutes. 15. The hands didn't move. Then my phone buzzed. No messages. Just a notification I'd never seen before. Guestroom 11:47. I dismissed it. Seconds later it buzzed again. Same notification. Guestroom 11:47. This time I tried to power off the phone. Froze. A loud tick broke the silence. The wall clock moved. One click forward. 11:48. I don't know why, but I panicked. I stood back toward the door. Another tick. 11:49. I grabbed the knob, but it didn't turn. I remembered what the old man said. Lock the door tonight. But it was locked. I locked it when I came in. Still, it felt like something had changed. A draft blew through the room, though the windows were shut. The lamp flickered. The clock ticked again. 11:50. Then I heard footsteps. Not outside in the hallway. Inside the room. Behind me. I turned around, nothing. Empty room. Shadows in the corners. I flicked the light switch off and back on. The lamp sparked, then went dark completely. The ticking got louder. 11:51. Then came the whisper. Right by my ear. "Don't stay past 12. Bolted. I threw my shoulder into the door until it cracked open. I rushed down the stairs, heart pounding, and found the old man sitting in the parlor, staring at a broken pocket watch in his hands. "You opened the door," he said quietly. "I'm leaving." "You still have time," he muttered, voice distant. But only if the clocks let you. I ran outside. No wind. No sound. Just the moon above and that awful silence. When I reached my car, the dashboard clock read 11:51. The same time. I turned the key, nothing. I looked up at the house. Every window was dark. But the clocks, they started ticking. All of them. Dozens of soft clicks and chimes, like 1,000 tiny heartbeats in sync. I didn't know where to go. But I couldn't go back in. So I started walking. West. Toward the road. Away from the house. My phone in my pocket vibrated again and again. Guestroom 11:52. Guestroom 11:53. Guestroom 11:54. By the time I hit the edge of the woods, I couldn't hear the clocks anymore. But I could still hear the ticking. I slept under a tree that night. When I returned at sunrise, the house was gone. Not burned. Not abandoned. Just gone. Only thing left was the signpost. Clockmaker's guest room, vacancy. And the ticking in my ears that still hasn't stopped.